If you have been in crypto long enough, you should have observed a single pattern in crypto markets. That a lot of coins who were prevalent in their past cycles or 5 to 10 years now mostly have disappeared or have dropped from their relevance. For example, there was Terra Luna, which was one of the top 10 coins in previous cycles with a massive DeFi presence. It looks structurally strong from outside, but it has a very great flaw in its tokenomics, which gradually led to the downfall of the coin. Even a newer version of the same coin exists in the market today, but it has almost wiped out billions of dollars from the crypto market and has lost all the trust. Now moving on to some coins which didn't collapse but went silent in this cycle and previous cycle. For example, EOS. It was one of the top 5 coins. It raised billions of dollars in its initial coin offerings and was one of the top 5 coins in the market. But today it still exists, but it has dropped from its relevance. And then there are what we call as ghost coins, such as Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, and Terra. These coins are strongly traded but still lacks narrative direction for a rally. The innovation and momentum in this cryptocurrency has almost been faded. So if you step back and look at the cryptocurrency, there are a lot of such examples. These coins didn't vanish overnight. They fizzled out slowly. And similarly, in the next 5 years, we'll be seeing a lot of such coins disappearing over a period of 5 to 10 years. So if you're just looking at the top 10 coins or top 20 coins, it doesn't matter, because some of these coins were top 5 and top 10, but still they faded out. For that, you need to take a step back and understand what are the issues in the underlying foundation of a cryptocurrency. So before you invest in any cryptocurrency, you need to understand the project that you're investing in. And you have to ask some critical questions to yourself. Is this just a narrative play? Is there any real growth and opportunity in this coin? And will this coin matter in the next 5 or 10 years? These are the questions that you need to ask before you enter into the crypto markets. If you cannot answer these questions, then altcoins are not for you. It's better you invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the top 5 coins. To understand why the cryptocurrencies or a particular blockchain fails, I went on a tangent and did some research. I prompted ChatGPT to identify some of the core indicators for a cryptocurrency to flourish. And based upon that, I found out this. The first indicator is the problem solution fit. It's basically the use case of a particular crypto. The second is team and execution. This indicator shows that the project have relevant credibility. The third indicator is technology. The project should adapt and innovate and should be robust in nature. The tokenomics should be in the favor of long-term growth of the coin and not just liquidity for the larger players to get out. The next thing is adoption. The community and the ecosystem around the particular coin is very important for the flourishing of the coin. Next is community, where it's very important for the developers to constantly contribute for the newer technology in the cryptocurrency. If developer activities drop, it's usually shown that the project dies within a couple of years. Next is market position, which states that it should have a competitive moat, which makes it stand out from other competitors. And the last point is that it should have less regulatory risks, and it should not be dependent on a particular entity or a particular institute. Next, I asked ChatGPT to take top 20 cryptocurrency based on market cap and grade it from 1 to 10 based upon these indicators. And not to my surprise, Bitcoin and Ethereum were the top players without any question. The second most rated crypto was the second layer protocols. The third highest rated were crypto exchange tokens. Similarly, it rated all the 20 cryptocurrencies based upon these indicators. I'm doing this experiment not to understand which coin is better than other, but I'm trying to structure the filtering process. And I don't think this all indicators make sense at some levels, because markets are irrational in behavior. So if you're just trying to invest in the markets, you need to specifically extract some indicators which are critically important for a particular use case, because most of the coins will not follow these indicators so rigidly. The 3 main indicators that I feel is really important in understanding the crypto markets is tokenomics, adoption, and narrative. Adoption encompasses developer activity and on-chain demand, where tokenomics lets us understand is there an inflationary pressure or a supply pressure which is blocked at certain points. And also let us understand, are there any structural plays for the tokenomics in the larger terms. And narrative is the third important factor, which deals with hype, sector leadership, and capital inflow. Without narrative, any cryptocurrency is just like a stagnant water. For example, in this cycle, we have unexpected inflows into Binance coin as well as in privacy coins. This was structurally different from what happened in the previous cycle. In previous cycle, there was structural inflows into all the coins. But in this cycle, we see selective narratives that played out. And similar narratives can play out in the near future. For example, AI narrative or privacy narrative. In this, the most critical factor that needs to be taken into consideration is the developer activities. If the developer activity starts to degrade, it's a clear sign that the project is not maintained properly. And over time, it will be dropped in relevance. Take Bitcoin Cash as an example. It's separated from Bitcoin to create something different, but due to degraded developer activities, the project is irrelevant today. Its tokenomics is somewhat similar to Bitcoin, but it doesn't have any narrative push. Such coin where the developer activity is fading, tokenomics is not in your favor, and there is no narrative push, such coins will be fading out in the next couple of years. I think over the next year, we will not be seeing complete altcoin season because traditional investors are getting into crypto markets and they know that to capture the alpha or returns in the crypto market, they don't need to take large amount of risk in all the coins. They can invest in selective coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum and capture most of the profits in the crypto sector. On top of that, they can also drive the narratives such as AI or security. So if you're trying to build position in a coin which has already fallen 70-80%, and if you think that this coin will be going 10x or 100x in the next season, you may be getting it wrong. Going forward, you cannot randomly select any coin and invest in it just because it has fallen 70-80%. You have to understand the narrative behind the coin as well as the niche that it supports. Does it have real world value or real world use cases? Because once the crypto markets get integrated with the traditional markets, the volatility will disappear and the crypto markets will get standardized. Because of this, I don't expect in the next season to see a broader altcoin season, but selective narrative plays. And you have to always be cautious because this crypto themes will keep on changing every cycle. What dominated previous cycle may not be true in this cycle. This makes the altcoin season inherently unpredictable. There is also new technological risk to the cryptocurrency because of AI and quantum computing. So it's also important to separate short-term effects from long-term structural. So if you're planning to enter into the crypto market, you need to understand the shifting dynamics in the crypto markets and how traditional players may affect this. A lot of retail traders are also skeptical and fearful of the previous scams that has happened. There is much more information and knowledge regarding cryptocurrency than previous cycles. So you cannot expect the same strategy to work in this one. Looking ahead, I think we'll see a lot of fragmentation in crypto market and many altcoins will just disappear without any attention. And this is not something new. Projects which were relevant in 2010 and 2013 have already faded out and nobody talks about it anymore. So let me know in the comments below which coin do you think will disappear silently so that you can help your community. See you later.